Hi, I'm Michael Hauk, and I'm with the Arts Council of Fayetteville, Cumberland County. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about grant narratives. As an individual artist who will sometimes have to go out and ask for money through grant applications, one essential component of your request packet is going to be a well-crafted narrative. As a simple definition, your narrative is just a detailed description of your proposed project, including the scope of activities that you'll do, your goals, your needs, and the work's anticipated impact on the community. Having a strong grant narrative is like having a well-crafted business plan. It demonstrates to the funders, and in this case that could be a foundation or an arts council such as the Arts Council of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, the value and potential impact of your project, making your case for support more competitive. More often than not, your grant narrative is going to unfold through a series of very specific questions that are relevant to the grant program that you're requesting funds through, and possibly the granting institution. Before you start to compose your grant narrative, you should review the application and the program guidelines to make sure that it fits your proposed activities. And while it's not often required, it's always a best practice to get to know the grant staff, so you should set up a meeting to go over the grant guidelines and the application with someone at the funding institution. This always helps you get to know the program better, and it gets the funding institution to understand you as an applicant a little bit stronger. Regardless of the funding institution, here are some best practices towards composing any written request for funding through a grant program. Keep it technical, not creative. Grant writing is a form of technical writing, means that it's rooted on factual, relevant, and clear information, so avoid overly descriptive language or use of discipline-specific jargon. You should include all relevant details, but make sure you write it in a concise way. By the time a grant reader is done with your request, there should be no confusion about the proposed project, or who is doing what, when and where it is taking place, and how it is affecting the community. These details should be very apparent and clear to the reader evaluating your request. Lead with your main idea. Start your narrative with the main point or purpose of the project and how it's relative to the funder's mission. This helps reviewers grasp the key ideas early, and then everything else that you put in the narrative will support that main focus. Oftentimes this is called bluffing. B-L-U-F. Put the bottom line up front. Explain the impact of your proposed project. When discussing the impact, clearly explain how the program or project is important and how it will make a difference. Usually for the grant guidelines, this question would be specific to the time and place where you live, or potentially your artistic discipline as a whole. When crafting your narrative, use SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, meaning they're specific to your proposed work of activity, measurable meaning you can track the data, achievable meaning within the size of your program or project that they are feasible to reach, relevant meaning that they are appropriately tied to your program as well as the goals of the granting program, and time-bound meaning that you can clearly stay when you're going to start the collection of data, end the collection of data, and synthesize it all. Defining your goals using this criteria demonstrates that your project is well planned and feasible. Write in complete sentences. Ensure that your narrative is composed of complete and grammatically correct sentences. This enhances clarity and professionalism. Proofread. Always proofread your work. Before submitting any grant request, you should always proofread it by reading it out loud. Reading out loud often highlights errors and improves the flow of your writing. Hearing the words out loud also help you identify how the reader will hear it when they are evaluating your request. To learn more about the grants at the Arts Council of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, or see more videos like this from our help desk, visit us online at www.theartscouncil.com.